Today we're going to be jumping back into PGR. We're going to be doing an event guide for the Floating Reverie. It's been a minute since I've done one of these event guides, actually a long time, but I was watching some of my old videos and I was like, you know what, let's take a trip down memory lane. So what we're going to be doing is going through the event, the entirety of it, kind of explaining all the different things, and we're going to be bringing back the XL stuff. So if you guys don't remember, or maybe you don't know, we used to do XL stuff where we pretty much broke down how much currency you can get a day, what you can spend it on, and kind of what it takes to get certain things throughout the duration of the event. So we're going to be jumping into that here in a couple of seconds, but let's go ahead and break down some of the different stuff. So material, this is going to be where you jump in and do your material stuff. For anybody who's brand spanking new, this is going to be where you get your event currency, fallen flower for, you know, this particular event. This is what it's going to be called. A big thing to note is you can max this out to 8 times. This is super nice. Multi-challenge is such a cool feature. Basically jump in. I think it's 8 enemies at this point. It used to be 8 waves, but I'm pretty sure it's 8 enemies. Then you can jump in there and you just pretty much beat everybody up. And then it gives you 8 layers of currency, multi-drops. And it's pretty much like as if you ran it 8 times. It's super nice. And it's just, you know, it takes all that stam, obviously. It takes 30 per one run. So if you do it times 8 or whatever, it takes all that entire thing. But it's kind of nice, better than having to jump back in each and every time. The authority level, the big thing to note is damage increases, as well as 25 gives you auto clear. Auto clear is super nice because then you just max the date and you click auto and you don't even have to go on the stage. The rewards here, level 10 is going to give you some BC, some mats. Level 15 is going to be BC, mats, and some event currency. 20 is going to be BC, mats, and then 25 is again BC and some currency there. So the currency, you know, it's not much, but it's enough. You know, it helps you out a little bit. We'll talk about the event shop here as we round out towards the XL stuff. This is going to be the story. So basically, if you're not even a story goer, I do recommend doing this and clearing your goals, because this is going to give you your BC. You get 30 per actual, you know, actionable, I guess, a story thing. Because if you do one of these, you just watch the story. But if you do one of these missions where you actually jump in and play it, you do get mats and you get BC. And then you want to make sure you're doing your clear goals, because as you progress through there, you'll get some different reward requirements and get mats and stuff like that as you get like the stars or whatever little ticks that you get for each and every one of those. So super nice to just kind of pay attention to this one. If you guys for some reason logged into this and accidentally clicked out and you want to know exactly like kind of the breakdown with the photo stuff, all you got to do is click here at the top of the exclamation point and it'll kind of break it down for you. But the big gist of this is it's kind of a maze thing with some different obstacles and some different stuff. It's kind of just a breakaway from like your traditional like combat heavy stuff. Just give you a little bit of fun, a little mini game. They kind of do this periodically to give you something kind of fun to do, I guess. But I do recommend that you jump in here daily to collect the tickets, because as you see, they refresh and you can kind of store them. So even if you don't actually plan on doing it that specific day, I do recommend, like, you know, clicking into this actual menu so you can get your tickets for it and you can kind of stack them. So when you do want to play, you can run as many times as you have tickets. And the big thing to note here is as you progress through there in different challenges and stuff like that, you get some different mats and you get these tickets. These tickets allow you to summon for your S ranks. So they're super nice to have. They stack up over time. I think you get here 100, so that's 250 plus some mats and some cogs. You know, you can never have too many cogs. And then you can kind of just go through here and do story collections and stuff if you like to do that. But if you want kind of like a detailed thing, we can definitely jump into that at some point with a different video. Challenge system stock is pretty much like the most like basic thing. You're pretty much just like doing a boss fight, right? So you're jumping in, doing a boss fight. It doesn't cost any stam. You do have challenge goals to kind of pay attention to. And I will say it progressively gets way more challenging. So if you're brand new, you probably get away with doing like these first 2, and then it's going to be progressively harder. So it's kind of one of those things, like the more that you're kind of in tune with your account and the better you are, the more rewards you're going to get. So as you can see, if you do like the different challenge goals, you get 3 per, I think, and then they go for 15 for the entirety of it. But you can see, like, you even get 100 for doing 3, you get another 6 here, you can do 50. So basically, I think at this point, it's what, 100 to 250. So you get 250 and some mats. So even like the max rewards are just some cogs and stuff. So you're not missing out too much if you can't do the max stuff. And at least you get 100 for even doing the 3, which is the first one. So yeah, you'll get a couple little tickets and stuff like that. So don't beat yourself up too much if you can't do the whole entire thing, because that is kind of just like a challenge. It's kind of what it's meant to be, literally in the name. The next thing is going to be the A rank character. So she's actually in the shop. We'll talk about her shards and how long it takes to get her. But if you're kind of impatient and you don't want to do that, or you want extra shards, you can jump into the summons. And as an A rank, to kind of explain it real quickly for newbies, you can do 4 A ranks anyway. You do 10 pulls, and anybody who's on a rate up is 100% guaranteed. So out of 10 pull, you get her guaranteed. That means you can get her plus a couple more dupes of her, but you'll be at least guaranteed 1 dupe of her if you do a 10 pull. If you are brand new though, I do not recommend doing it. She's super easy to get. It takes about 3 days to grab her from the actual shop. It doesn't really seem worth, you know, doing that unless you really like her for some reason and you really want to grab a shit ton of her shards, and, you know, by all means. With that being said, you have her coding as well, 30% off during the event. So this is like the best time to get a coding if you are going to get her coding, because it's going to be a percent off during her thing. Talk about Vera's here in a second. She has her own little stage for it. But I do recommend, not so much for an A rank character, but for any character that you do the tutorial stages. Tutorial stages basically tell you how the character plays in the game, and then you're able to go through it and kind of see if you like her or not. And then you can take that stuff from the tutorial and do the challenge stages. And these challenge stages will just kind of like give you a little bit of a challenge. It's like, they're not really too hard, but they'll give you a little bit of a challenge when you get to use her like kind of maxed out and see if you like her. So basically it gives you an idea of what she would look like and how she would play if you were actually going to grab her or like play with her, you know, extensively. I do recommend grabbing her from the shop regardless if you plan on playing her, just because you never know. But she's kind of a nice character. I haven't got to play with her too much, but if you want to see like a dedicated guide on her, definitely let me know and I'll kind of jump in there. This is Vera's coding. So this is just kind of a nice little like practice area. It gives you a little bit of a tutorial, but basically it's just showing you the fanciness of her. So if you've already played S rank Vera, you probably know how she plays, but if you haven't, then I definitely recommend just jumping on here just to see how she plays. You know, if you're a brand new player and you're just kind of like, I wonder how she plays. Yeah, this is kind of cool because it gives you an idea what the coding looks like and kind of like the specializations of what it kind of can do. And then you can also just play the character for free, which is kind of nice. This last one here is going to be the Uniframe. So this is just kind of a nice little challenge thing. Again, you can click through here and look through all the different stuff. Super dedicated, super detailed whenever you want to look through this, but it's kind of split up into different combat areas. You kind of go through them and you do some different things to get combat points. Each time you get combat points, you can kind of trade them for the rewards, and then those rewards turn into shop currencies and stuff like that. You get some different buffs for doing different things and progressing through here. So like as you kind of go through here, you get you know, clearing certain things, you get rewards, and then you get this currency right here. This currency is basically going to be this specific challenge currency, and then you just kind of use this to go into the shop, and then you can get some different mats and stuff like that. So kind of nice. You can see that some of these are discounted, so it's kind of a nice little area to go into. And you can also have battle ranking if you're into, you know, being battle ranking and going against other people like rank wise anyway. And then here's just kind of a rundown of like some of the different things to look out for whenever you're progressing, and some of the different things you can unlock as you know, progress through some of the different challenges. If you guys want to see like a dedicated stuff to this to kind of really explain it, definitely let me know, and I'll, you know, try my hardest to jump in and kind of explain it. But I was trying to do it kind of, you know, roughly just so you get an idea. Now, talking about the shop, I'm not going to go super detailed because we got the XL stuff to really talk about, but I want to do kind of a rundown of what's in the shop. So this is the normal stuff. You got all your different things, all your different mats. Not going to talk too much about that, but your limited here is going to be your gift. You also have these shards. This is what I was talking about. This is how you get the character. There's 30 of them. That gives you the character. You got some furniture here if you like that kind of stuff. And then you have special. So your special here, though, is basically any memory. The game at this point allows you to grind for any memory you want. So if you ever missed out on a set or whatever, you will have to pay in currency. So typically, if you're during an S rank patch, you would want to grind for like the character specific memories because it helps you out. But during this patch, it's kind of nice because you can actually jump in and grab some of the different memories that you maybe don't have because they don't have signature memories for A ranks. So you can jump in here and grab some different things that you want. So during this collection, though, this is going to be like the discounted stuff. So typically this would be where the S rank specific memories are going to be. But for this one, is going to be Da Vinci, which she's super useful. She's pretty much used on a ton of different supports, a ton of different characters. So you're going to want a ton of these. And I'll kind of talk about how long it takes to get a full set. 12 of them will give you pretty much an entire set with Rezo and all the different stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into the XL stuff. So like I said, we'll talk at the start. So this is going to be the stage cost for whenever you do your grinding for your materials. It's going to be set at 30. This is going to be the average currency per stage. So to kind of explain this as you go through it, if you do your multi-challenge, for example, you're doing like 8 runs. Each run has a kind of variable between how much currency you're going to get. I think the max is like 72 or 73. And then kind of the low ball there is going to be 67 to 68. I did it about 16 times, got an average of 69. And then I took that number and I pretty much took my max stamp for the day. And so this 280 is going to be 160, right? So that's what you get for the day if you don't log in twice. So I kind of did this as a person who only logs in once because I felt like that's the most common person. I think at some point, if you log in twice during a 24-hour period, you technically refresh your stamp twice at 160. So it could be like, you know, 320 or something like that. But 280 is for your 160. And if you do literally anything in the game, you get a mission that gives you basically a little extra stamp for that 280. You take that divided by 30, which is the stage cost. And then for me, I took it to times my currency per stage, which was at 69. So daily, I get 644. Obviously, it's going to fluctuate every single day as you kind of get that variable. but this is about how much you should get. The authority level per stage is going to be 50, so that's set. That's just what you get every single time. And then your authority level to max to get that 25 is going to take about 16 days. So as of posting this, you'll have about 10 to 9 days of just auto farming. So you don't really have to play too much on those general stages for like 9 to 10 days of the event. Super nice. Now for the actual shop here, I'm not going to talk about each specific thing. You guys can kind of pause and see exactly where things fall, how you want to do it, but I'll kind of explain kind of the top headers here. So this is just kind of broken down onto the different sections that we kind of went through. So normal, limited, special, collection, event currency. So basically this is what is going to be in the shop, right? So let's just go ahead and hop in here. So like, for example, we'll do the aura chip. So this is going to be 100, right? So that 100 is going to be just like that. So you get 10 of them, but it costs 100 for that one specific thing. So that's kind of what I went in here and did. So whenever you're going through here, so 100, even though there's like technically 10 of them, it costs 100 to get that like one, ticket item. So you can get 6 of them a day. Memory shards, we'll just kind of highlight some of the bigger ones. This is going to be 12. So these are kind of rounded up. So they're going to be kind of like 12. Some of them are like 11 and a half, but I'm not going to do 11 and a half because like, what are you going to do with half a memory shard? You got your Maz 1411, EXP pods, L's are going to be 6. You get 21 skill points. Now I like kind of adding these cog packs because back in the day, and I don't know how true this is now, but it used to be somewhat of a benefit sometimes, some of the different events, if you bought these, like, because these only cost 1 event currency, but you get 1200. Sometimes if you spent, like, let's say you're going to do 1 day of just cog farming, that's 644. Sometimes this amount would be higher than the XL packs. So these XL packs are 100k, and in this case you can get 10, roughly 10 a day. So then this is way more. So you want to do the XL packs for this if you're doing cogs. Ignore this event currency one. But back in the day, sometimes it used to kind of fluctuate which one was better, so I thought it'd be kind of nice to add it. Now talking about the gifts, so this is going to be a gift. There's only 30 in here, so you can only grab this item 30 times, but you can do 16 a day. And the A rank shard, so it's going to be for that A rank that I was talking about. It costs 30 for her, so like I said, you get her about 2.5 days, almost 3 days if you are kind of grinding on the back end there to grab her. So like I said, it's kind of like worthless to pull her unless you're trying to get more and more shards of her, rather quickly anyway. You can do it that way, but yeah, you basically can get her in 2 days. So for the memories here, so basically any of the other memories, they're all 500 a piece. I put the 1.3 here, so technically every day you get 1.3. The reason I put a 0.3 here is just because like as you gradually go, you technically get a free memory like every like 3rd or 4th day. Technically, if you want to look at it that way. For Da Vinci, you get 1.5. So like I don't know, about every 2 or 3 days you technically get like a free one if you want to put it that way. I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to put it that. So this is going to be 500. Da Vinci is going to be 440. So this last part here is just going to be kind of a idea of what it looks like if you were trying to get a full set, right? All 6 slots for a memory. So if you had like a particular set that you missed out on an S rank character or something like that, it's going to take about 9 days to get it. So this includes like the full 6 that you need, plus the additional stuff that you would need in order to res them out. So just kind of an idea of how much it would take to get that if you needed it. Da Vinci here is just kind of for reference. You don't ever technically need a full out set of Da Vinci. You're probably only going to do like what, a 4 set basically. So I don't know. I just kind of put it on there just in case you need multiple Da Vincis. I'm just going to take about 8 days in total. This would be a little bit more informational with S rank stuff because typically you buy an S rank's like entire kit and then you want to get your entire memory set. This is kind of what it looks like. So any other information you kind of think that needs to be on here, definitely let me know in the comments. This is kind of what I just went with for this particular video.